Hi guys, welcome back. It's Don Phillips. It's been quite some time since I've been able to address you this way. I've been settled in the new house now for maybe coming on for 5 months. 5 months. Settled in, everything's fine. One problem that I did find, there is a pylon very close, well, quite close to the house. I don't know if that was the reason why, but I've been unable to speak to the guys without nothing but pure all the time, and just hearing them very, very faintly in the background. That was mainly upstairs. However, it's never been brilliant down here, but over the last 3 weeks, on and off, they seem to have got around that somehow. I'm not sure exactly how, what it is they've done, but this is the first opportunity I've had to speak to the guys properly since I've been here. I asked Becky 2 nights ago to try and ensure that there was as many spirits here as possible and they can be as loud, as loud and as clear as possible. The conditions outside at the moment, very, very light frost, and very, very heavily overclouded, which is seriously not what I want. I guess we can just try it, see how we get on. One thing that is for sure, the guys will always try their very best to speak with me. As most of you be aware, or many of you at least now, I'm embarked on a project Phenomena with parapsychologist Steve Mirror. Although we've done mainly preliminary tests, I've got to say that Steve's extremely perplexed. He's now heard the voices. He's had the voices answer him. He's heard the guys, repeat words on request. We did a kind of Faraday test with the recorders. It made no difference. At my request, the guys even spoke to Steve's partner, Jackie, much to her surprise when they repeated her name. So we are making very, very, very good progress. 5-part episodes. The first episode is almost complete. The filming's finished, but I'm still doing the editing. We've now filmed also the second episode, Can It Chase, which I need to finish off the editing. And in the next few days we will be filming the third part in the series. I can promise you it's very, very, very intriguing and very engaging series. Right, getting back to tonight. As normal, this will probably take a couple of minutes to develop, although I'm not too sure, having just said that. I'm being approached now. They are gathering around. Just give it a minute or two. And it's getting stronger, which is good. Okay. Why I'm giving it a minute or two, what I'm going to say is this work I'm doing with Steve Mirror in Project Phenomena. I mean, you can check that out on Facebook, you can find it. Also, I've set up a Facebook page, Paradox Files. Paradox is spelled with a big X on the end, space, and then files. So come and join us there, check it out, keep up to date. Any questions, feel free to email me, don.phillips.jsi@gmail.com, and don't forget to look on the website, www.jsi-paranormal.com. There's a lot of stuff on there, interviews, clips, all to do with the Phenomena Project, and a lot of other fascinating content in case you've not frequented the page before now. So please do take a look. I think you'll find it quite interesting. Now, as I was saying, this that I'm doing with Steve, I will never prove that I'm that these guys are spirits because they don't come with a label around the neck that says we are spirits. One thing I will prove scientifically is I am engaging and have a relationship, a trusting relationship with, shall we say, unseen intelligences. The replies are not all one word, they are sentences, they are clear. There's some fantastic replies, some absolutely fantastic replies. So that's one thing I will prove by the time we've finished, scientifically, that, again, I can't use that word spirits because we can't prove they're spirits, but they'll tell you that they're spirits, and you know what, for the time being, let's say they are spirits. We know they're spirits. I will prove that spirits are around us all the time. They as big a part as the planet, the world, and everything else as what we are. And the fact that we can't see them, to me at least, makes little difference. They've been around me a long time. Becky, in particular, has always been there for me. Always been keen to help. Never ever told me anything wrong. Never misled me in any way. And Becky's very important, as to the rest of them, but they understand that me and Becky go back some way now. Right, getting back to tonight. This will be a good reply. I'll just show you first of all. Don't know if you can see that, hopefully. There's no file on that. Not sure if you can pick that up. And I've also blanked a folder on this one. So that will also show you no file. I have a feeling we might hear from Becky tonight. Good evening, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Unfortunately that broke up, but that's hell of a reply, to be fair. Do you know what, it's a shame that broke up because that would have been an absolutely superb sentence reply. The first part is very good. That I can't make out. Brilliant. Thanks for that. You know what's required this evening. Becky, let's see if I can hear you this evening. Can you say it's Becky for me? We have got a lot of interference again. Unfortunately, or fortunately, to the rear of the house, it's just filled with a large lake and some wildlife, including geese and ducks, which you may be able to hear now. But we'll persevere. I'm going to give this just 5 minutes to see if it improves. If not, believe it or not, I'm actually going to go to the side of the room because to see if that makes any difference. When I first moved in here, or when I first came out to view this house, I was approached straight away by spirits. So I know that there were some resident spirits here which the other people were obviously not aware of. Unless that's why they sold the house. Hey, who knows? The first recording I took was when I was unpacking. I found my recorder. And I just hit the record, see it would come back. And I got 2 recordings. The first one was, "Get out." The second one was, "This is my house." I've not had any problems since, any replies like that since. So I guess we sort of passed that stage. So the conditions are pretty crap at the moment, but we'll see what happens. Tonight you might notice that I just fancied a change, so I've just lit some candles. There's one here and two on here. I just think it's basically a little bit more cosy. I'm not feeling any great strength at the minute, guys. I need to feel great strength. Is there anybody here who would class themselves as demons? No good. I'm behind you. Again, not very clear. If it doesn't improve, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to terminate this session this evening, which would be a great shame, and maybe resume when the conditions outside are more favourable. I'll try again in a couple of minutes. This picture I put out 3 years ago, claiming it was a spirit portal. While just waiting to see if anything changes energy-wise, let's just talk about that. Now, the skeptics basically trashed what I was saying. I got called delusional at one point, told it was a camera lead in front of the lens. There's people in there claiming I'm an expert at photography and it's this and it's that, and a whole array of explanations. Carbon build-up in the camera. I think it was possibly Haley Stevens that said it was obviously a camera strap, or looks like a camera strap, or words to that effect. No, it wasn't at all. It was actually on the website. You can see the capture device that was used, and also the camera. It wasn't a conventional camera. It was a CCTV camera connected to a capture device which only took stills. Now, you know what, I took the crap, and time is my friend, and I'm never in any rush. But you know, 3 years later now, I teamed up with Steve Mirror. Now he's analysed the photographs, he's been to the scene. His conclusions are, first of all, it could not be something in front of the camera lens, such as a camera strap or anything like that. Second of all, the 3 photographs were taken so quickly in succession, it would be impossible to replicate. This, what you're looking at now, is impossible to replicate. I even had one person went into Microsoft Paint, drew a squiggly line on the photograph, I got a copy of the photograph kind of thing, and suggest that that was what it was or appeared to be like, which was, I found quite humorous at the time, to be fair. But anyway, to sum up, it's been established scientifically, using scientific methods, should I say. This picture cannot be reproduced. If anybody out there wants to, absolutely you're welcome to do so. But it would also have to stand up to the same analysis as what this one has. Let's just make that clear before we get anyone trying to be clever. So, it cannot be reproduced. It's not something dangling in front of the camera. Various things were used to put in front of the camera to try and replicate the kind of effects, testing the distance and everything else. It was established that this thing, let's call it, is between the camera lens and the other side of the kitchen. It's actually in the centre where I said it was in the first place. The other thing is, when testing and dangling things and putting things across the camera under exactly the same conditions, the same time of night and with the same lighting, anything that was tried produced a shadow. This doesn't produce a shadow. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's just play a little bit of footage now from the actual documentary that I'm making.
What we're describing here with these 3 particular photographs is photographic 1. There was a series of 3 photographs. The first one has an anomaly in the top left hand corner. What we've done is we've eliminated the fact that that is actually not the cupboard overhang nor cupboard door open. So, and it's also, if you actually look closely at that particular photograph, there's pixelation slight difference in regarding the anomaly, and that's simply because it seems to be closer to the camera lens. The second photograph is the one in question, which seems to be the most significant, where it does seem to capture something adrift on the photograph in the middle. You know, it's been speculated many times that could be a camera strap. In fact, we've also done a second test tonight to prove that actually isn't so. And the third photograph, which is really interesting, is that it does seem to be a captured movement of the actual camera. Now, between photograph 2 and photograph 3, there was certainly movement of the camera somehow, when in fact the whole area was locked off. So, a bit of a mystery.
So there we have it. Prior to capturing the picture, I already said what was there. I told Tony there was a portal there. I needed a camera capture equipment pointing exactly where that picture was caught. It's now been tested. The photo is not fake, despite what some people try to make other people believe. It can't be replicated. It's none of the above which the skeptic suggested. So therefore, in absence of any other explanation, I'd say that my explanation, and bearing in mind that I said what was there before it was actually captured on film, would be, I would say, the most fitting at this moment in time. Steve has certainly got an explanation for it. One thing that I would like to do is try and replicate that picture. When I said it can't be replicated, what I meant was by false means of faking it, etc. But I am actually going to attempt to get a second Spirit Portal picture in the next few days. The other thing is the orb experiment that I mentioned over the last 18 months. There's been controversy, a lot of controversy, that orbs are nothing more than dust particles and such forth. I've devised an experiment which I mentioned quite some time ago now to separate what I term as spirit orbs from dust particles. Now, when I say spirit orbs, we have lots and lots of photos of people saying, look, I've got an orb and everything else. A great majority of those is actual dust particles. The reason they always look round, that's just an effect of the way they're caught in the camera lens and with the flash, making them all look perfectly round. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Now, if this experiment is successful, it will prove 100% that, and it will be 100% without doubt, that spirit orbs are totally different and their characteristics are also absolutely totally different to dust particles or anything else. So that's one to look forward to. I'm actually quite looking forward to it myself. We've got a lot of experiments to do, me and Steve. One thing that I am extremely fortunate and pleased with Steve's assistance is the fact that with Steve there at the time, independently, then obviously anything I put out on video or any statements I make carry a lot more weight when they've been independently witnessed and tested by Steve. So there we go. Now getting back to this, guys, have we improved any on the energy or the conditions or anything? Thank you. Wow. Okay, so still not good enough the clarity, I'm afraid, at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try with the other side of the room in a minute, off camera. If it's any more successful, I'll move the camera over there and we'll speak to the guys over there. What I hope to be doing very shortly is reviewing some Olympus equipment. As you know, Olympus are my sponsors, and I've requested they send me their latest recorder for me to review and to test out. So that could be very, very interesting. I always find Olympus to just bang on the box every time. As far as I'm concerned, if these don't record sorry, got distracted there. If these don't record the voices for me at all, then there's none to record. If they don't record them at any time really clearly, that's not any problem with the recorder. That's to do with energy and everything, because believe you me, these recorders, and I'm not just saying this because they're my sponsors, although I'm sure they'll appreciate this. To me, these are the best recorders on the market. I've used many different makes and models of Olympus, and every single one I've been very pleased with the performance, the battery life, the pickup, and the quality of playback. This one is what is this? I can't remember now. This is a very old one. This is actually a DS40. Wonderful machine. Clip-in double microphone, stereo microphone there, but it's also got a built-in microphone as well. So if I just press record now, there it is. The tone is totally different to using this, so sometimes I will just use the internal one as opposed to the plug-in one. This other one, DM670, absolutely fantastic, can't fault it. The range, the frequency ranges on it is far greater than obviously the older one, but they both have their uses, because I've explained before, these guys seem to change frequencies. When I was out with Steve, we would start getting recordings on one. When the recordings effectively died off, I didn't get a reply after 3 times, then I switched to the recorder and the replies would start coming again, which I always find quite intriguing. We also had the same make and model recorder, press record and playback, and we would find one recording on one and a totally different recording on the other, and sometimes nothing on one but still a recording of voice on the other. Again, quite interesting. We've got a lot more research to do on these things as to whys, whens and hows. One of the things that I'm actually doing, I've devised a digital recorder which plays back no static whatsoever. It would be the first of its kind. I'm hoping to speak to, in more detail, Olympus about it, see if they'll take it up and maybe do something with it. It's primarily aimed at the paranormal research market, because there is a great belief that the guys, spirits, cannot speak and they need white noise. White noise and static to be heard. That's clearly not the case, because on my other camera, which is over there, you know, the little HD cam, the best recordings I've ever picked up have been via the HD cam. Now, because it's different circuitry, it's better shielded and a lot more powerful microphone, there's no static whatsoever. So that kind of takes away the argument that you need white noise and that you need static to hear them. Let's just listen to a couple of examples of recordings that I actually captured over the last 12 months.
We know. Listen, but seriously, listen to it. It starts, yeah, I'm fine, it starts straight away there. Well, you can hear somebody breathing, and then there's a lot of it when we walk around the house. It's kind of like somebody kind of. One of them said that they want to play. We're going to play with you. One of them said, help. One of them said, help me. There's a teacher in the kitchen. Just listen to the recording. Come on, listen to this.
So there you go, absolutely no static, very, very, very clear replies. There's another one as well, one of my favourites I think was, I was recording one night, pretty much like I'm doing now. The conditions obviously better, and I am babbling more at the moment because I'm waiting for something to change. I'm just trying to fill some time in, so bear with me. I was recording in my kitchen, and I heard what sounded like a load of people shouting somewhere outside near the back garden. I thought it was someone walking by a little alleyway making a racket, and it was about 3:30 in the morning. And I didn't pay any attention because I was so focused on like what I'm doing now. But I remember thinking to myself, who the hell is making that racket at 3:30 in the morning? I didn't think anything more of it. I just carried on. Come to edit the video. Amazingly, I then paid attention to what I was hearing. This was spirit people in my back garden shouting me, saying, we want you to come and join us, or we want you to come and live with us. You can hear it pitch perfect, word for word. There is no interpretation or anything needed. Now, this, as far as I'm concerned, is also the first time ever that I'm aware of, at least, that the same recording was also captured on the digital recorder at exactly the same time. So we've got a direct comparable there, and the voices say exactly the same thing. You can still hear it word for word, but the tone, obviously because this is a digital recorder, is totally different. The one on the camera, it sounds more like what people, spirit people, do sound like. The recorder version is a typical digital recorder sound of spirits, very that kind of tone to it. So just look at this footage now and you see what I'm talking about. Very loud, clear shout coming from outside my property. At the time, I paid it little attention, instead concentrating on what I was doing. I did actually wonder at the time, who the hell is that at 3 AM in the morning? It wasn't until playback during editing this footage it became apparent that the voices outside were actually the spirits shouting very, very clearly, come and stay with us, as you are now about to hear. Now you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you would agree that that is saying what I said it was saying there in the video. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Right, do you know what, guys? Let's just give this another try. If it's still not actually doing a great deal, I'm going for a cigarette. Now, I don't smoke in the house. I'll pop outside, in which case this screen will go blank and I'll be back very shortly. But let's just try this. Guys, is it worth us carrying on tonight or another time? It's not looking good, is it? Okay. I'm going for a cigarette and I'm going to try the recorder over the other side of the room, and I guess we'll go from there. If you're bored, switch off. If not, I'll see you in 2 ticks. I'm back. I'm afraid I have to report that I just tried over there and it was absolute crap. There's got to be some part of the house where it's better than others. I don't know. I heard that. You won't. I just said there's got to be some part of the house which is better, and it says, please come in the bedroom. I'll play it, but you won't hear it. Can you say that louder so that our viewers can hear? Please come in the bedroom. That's what you just said. It will help, is it? It will help. Okay, now we've got two recordings here. The first one I said you wouldn't hear, it says please come in the bedroom, which was, take that back, this is the one before. Now listen to this carefully. Now, understandably, people will say, oh no, you're just hearing clicks and noise, and it doesn't say that at all. Until, if you recall, I said, guys, can you say that louder? So our viewers can hear. Let's listen now to the next recording. It would appear that the guys want me to go into the bedroom. For whatever reason, it might be clearer up there. Unfortunately, guys, I can't do that because Rachel's not going to appreciate that at 3 o'clock in the morning. Things can change like that. Usually there's no problem at all, as you already know. But the conditions are crap outside. It's cold, it's a light frost, and it's really cloudy, which is terrible for what I'm trying to achieve. Guys, shall we do this another night? What night is best, do you think? I don't get anything from that. Well, my friends, in many ways an unsuccessful session. But occasionally, it is rare, but occasionally these things do happen. It's probably should be quite refreshing and reassuring to you guys, because at least it shows it's real. It's not a perfect science, as I said before. Recorder's not made for specifically speaking to the guys. One thing's for sure, tonight they are struggling to get through, so I am going to call it a night. Apologies, but at the end of the day, it's beyond my control, and it's pretty much beyond their control as well. On a warm, mild night, it's all about energy and clear skies. I'm tired anyway. Do you think you can muster up enough energy, Becky, guys, to say to our viewers, good night? A clear good night would probably save the night, to be honest. Can't even do that, can you? It's not strong enough, is it? Thank you. Now, you know, whatever the results of this session this evening, one thing is for sure, that says good night. As far as I'm concerned, guys, you've actually saved this session. Just that one good night on request shows a lot, proves a lot. As I've said before, what's the chances of me asking for someone to say good night and getting a reply that just happens to sound exactly like good night and right on cue? There are no odds for that. Thank you, guys, that is much appreciated. So, unfortunately, it's not been a very good session, but even so, do you know what? The guys pulled it out of the bag right at the end there. That one good night for me has made the whole thing worth it. So, as they said, good night. I will see you very, very soon here. Me and Steve have got some more things to do, some more locations. There will be some footage and little sneak peeks coming up soon. No, it hasn't been a brilliant night by any stretch of imagination, but I did say the conditions were pretty appalling. But like I said, good night. So, good night from them, good night from me. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.